don't talk, the music keeps playing. I like that. It's got a good beat, doesn't it?
This has been a long time I've been listening to it. And
140
you know what?
episodes, brother.
Yeah.
140
I'm looking
episodes.
at that. 140. Was that a little over 2.5 years? Maybe
That's
or
incredible.
2 years.
Yeah, a little over 2.5 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we might be regrouping and scaling these back a little, but we still want to have some in-depth conversations on their traditional behind the badge. My name is Todd Baxter. I'm the sheriff of Monroe County, here with my partner Tiz from the Court Bureau of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Oh yeah.
And co-host of Steeler Nation.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, it's a somber day in Pittsburgh, man. We lost our top player for our team, which was our wide receiver George Pickens. Lost him to the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
which is,
that even hurts more, right?
Yeah. That's even painful.
Jamie's the other partner in Steeler Nation over like I heard a grunt over there.
Yeah, but we're rebuilding next year, and
you are so positive.
It is. We have over 12 draft picks next year in the 2026 NFL draft. So what we're looking to do is what the Pittsburgh Steelers are hopeful trying to do.
You're in the front office now.
Take those draft picks, move it up, and get a real good draft pick.
Yeah.
Get a number one quarterback this year or next year, and just really regroup and start circling the wagons, and let's get this thing going.
But you can't have Josh.
Can't have Josh.
No.
What'd you get for him? If you're going to give up your best player and give him all teams, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What'd they get for him?
I think it was a third round.
A third round pick, and I think a fifth round pick in 26 or 27, and we're swapping late picks.
Okay.
Next year, so it's Dallas's problem now.
Yeah.
So.
Mute button. It's an 8 mail now. I got enough controversy. I'm the sheriff, man. I don't need to steal the nation controversy in here.
It's all right. So we're built for that.
Hey, Tiz, first of all, thanks for joining us, and thanks for bringing your partner in crime over here in the Steeler Nation, fellow Court Bureau Deputy Jamie Owen. Jamie, thanks for joining us again.
Hey,
You've been here a couple times.
Yeah, it's my honor and privilege to be here in front of you, Sheriff, and with Laurie Kingsley here. We have a message that we want to send out.
Yeah, thanks.
And hopefully that it's heard countywide, citywide, and trying to get some more recruits for the Rochester Protectives of the Fire Department.
Yeah, Laurie, classmate, 1987.
It was a little while ago.
Yeah, a little while ago. RPD
Yep, there we go.
Came in. Look at that class. Look at that class.
Oh, she had a circle.
Look at this smile. What are you smiling about? You should be doing push-ups right now.
Yeah, but I still smile, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So the objective is people to pick Todd Baxter out of that crowd. Good luck with that one. There's some players in there. There's some characters.
A lot of memories.
Yeah,
a lot of good
Sonny
memories,
Chung,
and some not so good.
Sonny
But
passed,
yeah.
And, oh, God bless. Some great people. Tony Perez. Yeah, great class. We had a good time.
Yes, we did.
We got yelled at a lot though. That's all I remember.
Yeah, but back then we didn't have computers, and you had to type your blue paper.
Yeah.
That was,
And
when
make
you
sure it was
screwed up.
centered, right? You had to put it in.
And no whiteout on the blue paper
No whiteout.
because that looked horrible.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There was no blue out.
No.
If someone could have invented that, they
No.
would have been rich.
Yep, and like I said, there were no
The paper
computers
was
to
blue
have
and you had
that.
to,
So
you know, corrective. You had to.
You'd almost have to be amazed at how you guys going in at 87, how'd you solve cases as to to the way that things are now. Though. You know what
we
I
had
mean?
fingerprints, right?
right, yeah.
But it's just now. It's just so so much technical. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy.
You used to have to go down, pull the file folders, and look at the photographs. There weren't things on the computer, and you didn't just punch in names because you didn't have the computer to do that.
You went down and opened folders and folders and folders looking for clues.
I used to have a stack of mugshots that I carried around going, was this the person? I mean, it just, not like that anymore.
If you look at the pictures, we're wheel guns, right? We got revolvers. That's all.
Holy
That's how old we may be. We carried 38 revolvers and
I was skinnier then, though.
But, great experience. Man, what a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
I just look at those faces, and there's some great human beings in that picture.
We all did great things, though.
Absolutely. God bless.
Yeah.
God bless. So here we're not talking about our reminiscing in our career, but thanks for taking us down memory lane. But we are talking, like Jamie said, the Protectives, part of the Rochester Fire Department, been around over 160 some years, maybe. My math is
168 years, sir.
Yeah, 168 years, utterly incredible. Still a volunteer unit inside the Rochester Fire Department, which is literally amazing. As fire departments morphed to professionals and paid over the years. This stayed. I'm dying to learn a little more history on that. And as Jamie said, we're trying to get the message out to recruit. Always looking for volunteers. So we'll hit all these types of things. But maybe just a little bit more about both your experiences on the Protectives. Why'd you start? What brought you to it? How long you been there?
Well, I was with, and you see some of the pictures, I was with the North Greece Fire Department. I started in the North Greece Explorers, went back when I was 14. and I loved it. It was a photo shoot with our IT there, and it was fun. And then back when I got on the Rochester Police Department, you had to live in the city, so I had taken the test, and I scored incredibly well, which was amazing. And so I bought a house in the city with my mom. I moved to the city to become a Rochester police officer. And so I wanted to keep my hands still in the fire service. So I joined the, you couldn't stay in North Greece and live in the city. So I joined the Rochester Fire Protectives. And it's been a blessing ever since. It's been a lot of fun. We've seen a lot of things, done a lot of things. And it's great to be a part of that history because it's like I say, we've been around 168 years. Yes, we have a paid driver with the Protectives, but we're all volunteers that do
wonderful.
that.
That's wonderful.
And it's just we're just looking for more people to, not to say that going to fires is fun, but you're there, you're helping your community, you're helping other people, and you're helping the fire service that doesn't have the extra manpower either, just like the police, to get things done, save property for your community, save the people's house that's burning. Go in and save what you can, cover what you can, and keep their valuables relatively safe. And it's interesting and it's fun to do that. It's rewarding. It's just something that if you're that type of person is just you'd understand it, and we need you. So
good.
That's good. Yeah. But the great thing is, let me ask James. Seeing that you're a partner of mine, and
For sure.
I got to be formal with him today.
Sure.
Well, how'd you get into the Rochester Protectives, and also you got family ties in that as well?
Yeah, for sure. So right out of high school, I went right to the military. I didn't know what
Army,
exactly. Yes, I wasn't sure
Forced
where I
out
was
by
going.
The parents or anything?
No, actually, I signed up when I was 16, and I needed mom and dad's signature, and they were more than happy to sign
I'm
it.
sure.
You signed that.
Here, what do I sign? Get them out of here. So, getting back from active duty, I was serve my country. Now it's time to serve my community. So when I got back, I was taking all the civil service exams, RPD, sheriff, whatever's out there, RFD, fire department, just trying to, what can I do to serve my community? So my brother, Scott, who's a lieutenant with the Rochester Fire Department, has been there almost 35 years.
Wow.
Engine 5 on Lyle Avenue, and a quick story about that. That's my brother right there.
The handsome.
So growing up, we lived in that area off of Lyle Avenue, and Engine 5 was there. And as kids, we used to play baseball in a church parking lot that was bumped up to Engine 5. So we'd play baseball, and when we were done playing baseball, we'd jump the fence, go over to the firehouse, and we'd hang out with the firefighters. We'd have food with them. They let us sit in the truck, wash the truck, and not too many years later, my brother's running it, which is awesome.
Amazing.
But my brother and his best friend, Jim Daly, who was with the Brighton Fire Department now, they were in this business or group with the Protectives, Rochester Protectives, or the Rochester Fire Department. And this was before my brother got on. So I'm like, well, I want to do that too. I mean, it's a volunteer, want to get in there. Hopefully that could help me, push me and get hired with the Rochester Fire Department or the police department, whatever. I wanted that on my resume.
Right.
But it was almost impossible to get in. There was a waiting list to actually get into this department. And because a lot of people wanted to volunteer for the city back in that time, and where people actually wanted to do something for the community. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow. And so since my brother was in it, it was a little easier. I was a legacy now. So pushed me to the front of the line basically. And then once I got on with the Protectives, then my brother got on with the Rochester Fire Department. And I just took over that legacy. He had a nickname, they called him Hurricane, because that's all he did. Once the truck stopped, he got off, he was doing what he was supposed to do. And so that's what I wanted to be in my brother's footsteps. So I did exactly what he would do. And I was nicknamed Hurricane too. So we all have nicknames for everybody, but it's just a great feeling knowing that you're serving your community and you're helping out somebody. Sure. And the paycheck you get is at the end of the day, at the end of your shift, that you helped out somebody.
Yeah. Tiz, a couple things. One, we've done 140 of these episodes. Behind the Badges is designed to look at who's behind these badges, who's wearing these badges, who they are as people, and what we do as an organization. But how many times do we see people volunteering outside their law enforcement career, giving back, whether on a soccer field with kids or Protectives or, working in a soup kitchen? I mean, These are servants. These are servants. Anybody, especially from 2024, you want to bastardize law enforcement, you really need to look behind the badge and see who these human beings are. And as you're both telling your story, I'm like, 16 you started?
14.
14 at Greece.
14,
Yeah. Just had a servant's heart at 14 years old. A lot of people are looking to do other things as teenagers, right? And, that's amazing.
Right. Also, I want to put in with the history, you mentioned around 168 years we've been alive, this company. We've only had one on-duty death.
Wow.
At 160 plus years.
Going into all those fires.
In 1896.
Right. Harry B. Austin. And we have at the Protectives a Harry B. Austin Award for the Outstanding Protective of the Year, voted in. We have other awards too that go along with it. But the prestige of that, just knowing that the safety and responsibility we take, it's just not something we do. People who actually do it, they do it as a job. And we take it seriously. Safety is everything, it's utmost importance. And to say, look at your background saying we were around 160 plus years and only one death in a firefighting situation, right. That speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to your training, your selection, the discipline of the group, right? Working as a team, I'm sure is utterly important.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, before I miss out, everybody has nicknames. Laurie?
They usually call me Sunshine.
That makes sense. You're always smiling and laughing. That makes sense.
Well, the sad part is
Sunshine.
Some of the officers, when I worked the job, McHale.
I just seen him the other day.
He nicknamed
Cinco de
me
Mayo,
Sunshine.
I walked by McHale. Really? Yeah.
Yep. And actually, some other people at the firehouse call me Sunshine. So it's just funny because they didn't know each other.
Really?
But it's how
It's
it
that
must be
personality.
the way I just try to present myself. We all have our days. But
You are Sunshine. That's awesome. I wish I'd known that back in '87. I would have been calling you ever
So the main precipice while we're here is to recruit volunteers. Not to take away from, because the Sheriff's Department, RPD, definitely we're short-staffed.
Right.
We need all the help we can get. And this is not a recruitment for Rochester Fire Department. However, it's a recruitment to get this generation out to volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Laurie have been talking about this for weeks, that the downtrend that we see with the Protectives Company, we just had a meeting last week, and there was a handful of the members there. When I was there, and I'm starting to talk like my parents now. Back in my day, when I was active, the meeting hall was packed.
Right.
you couldn't get a seat.
You couldn't get a seat. We have monthly meetings. The first Thursday of every month, we have dinner. Our chief comes down, and we have a lot of people who cook dinner for us. And we have dinner, then we have our meetings. And it used to be a full house. And I was just sitting around there looking, and I'm just like, where is everybody?
Right.
And it's a detriment to the city of Rochester to not have volunteers to get out there. We see once in a while they'll pick up the trash, and we need volunteers for this. But this is, fires are something that's going to happen every day. It's unavoidable. You cannot expect there will be no fires. There's going to be EMS calls. There are going to be water problems. Like if you have a broken pipe in your house, your basement's flooded. We do that too.
Right.
And it just, every chance that we get, the Protective has to get out there and help people and just show what, volunteering is just not, hey, I'm here, look at me, I showed up. Volunteering is doing a job, and your paycheck is that you help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually down the road, that if you do get a job with the fire department or police department or sheriff's department, that you have a basic foundation of what it is to actually enjoy doing your job and why you're doing it,
right?
As opposed to just being there and just getting a paycheck.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a great opportunity for maybe people that have a professional job, but empty nesters is an example. The kids are starting to leave the house. Now it's time to go. What am I going to do? Most people in that stage of life want to volunteer, right? This is the idea behind this podcast is bring this as another opportunity to volunteer. But this is to a whole new level. I think what Jamie's saying, it comes with training, it comes with teamwork, it comes with danger, if you will. Although you guys are very cautious about that. But it comes with a whole unique way to opportunity to serve. And serving at the local soup kitchen, absolutely, we do it, right? We should do those things. But this is to the whole new level. This is volunteerism that it's hard to explain to people, the camaraderie, the teamwork, the esprit de corps.
It's just like your other family. You have dinner together, at our firehouse, you bunk. So you bunk here one night a week or more if you want. And, it's your family. We don't, Yeah, just like in brothers and sisters, you pick on each other.
Yeah.
We pick on each other. But, we've been around 168 years. We're the only company left in the United States because we're basically not a fire department. We're a salvage company because we, protect people's property. But we're the only company like that in existence left in the United States, which is even better. So to be a part of history, come down, be a part of history. But, there's requirements to do that. And, we're very proud that we've been here for that long. And we're just trying to get the people. So if you do want to join, you can go to our website, which I'm sure they'll put up here in a second, but it's www.rochesterprotectives.com. You can download the application under join and fill that out, send it in. We have background checks. We have things that we have, the process that we go through. You come down, you meet the membership committee. You're given a form. You come down, meet each night of the week because you're assigned a night of the week to bunk. And then you'll get voted on and hopefully get brought in, and we put you through some training. You have the opportunity to take Firefighter 1 and a bunch of other classes. But just to be A, part of history, and B, to give back to your community. But it's also, if you're looking to get a job in the fire service on down the road and you're waiting on that civil service list, which we all know takes forever to go through, come down and volunteer for a couple of years, get some experience, get your name out there. Especially if you go into the city, your battalion chiefs are going to see your name. They're going to check with us. Does this person put in their time? Do they go to their meetings? Sure. Yes, they do. And it's another little feather in your cap for that, if you think of it that way. But, a lot of the Rochester Fire Department, I don't have the percentage, but I think it's almost more than half have either been part of the Protectives or still member of the Protectives. Sure. And it's a wonderful thing to see. So come use this as a stepping stone to further your career in the fire service if that is what you're interested in.
Is there any age requirements or anything like that for what's the youngest age a kid can get in? They're watching this video and he's like, you know what, I'm interested.
Right. We don't have an Explorer post. You got to be 18.
Okay.
And you can do that, but I think as you get older, just like with me, the fire trucks are getting taller, and I think I'm getting shorter, and they're getting harder when you put all that gear on to climb up in. So I don't actively ride anymore, though I am the president. I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, a lot of the other things to keep the group going. But there's different jobs for everybody. So even if you are a little bit older, come look at us because we might be able to find something for you. We don't have a status if you're not riding to still have you do something, but you still might be able to help us out. So, if you're interested at all, download that application or send us that email, which all that's right on the webpage, and somebody will get back to you.
So you mentioned the time commitment. So you're volunteering one night a week. Is that what you're bunking up one night a week? And so you're on call there at the station. And why don't you just explain it a little more for people trying to see what
Sure.
So I become a protective. What happens? What do I do?
So you get assigned one night of the week. Basically, you have to do 48 hours a month. So 12 hours a week, or until you get to know where everything is on the truck and you get a little bit of experience behind you. Then you can bunk as much as you want, because some guys, they're looking to get on the job, so they're down there 2 or 3 nights a week. That's awesome. It's fantastic. I want to get more people doing that, because that's when Jamie and I came on, we couldn't get enough. We were down there all the time. So, the more the merrier. But you would do that, and then, come to the monthly meetings. You know what's going on, because not everything's posted, even though some of the emails go out, but they have to open it to read the emails. You know how that goes. But, so we expect you to come to some meetings throughout the year, like I think 8 meetings throughout the course of the year. We have 1 meeting a month, so you get to blow 4 off. And then, do your time and get that experience. And that's kind of almost all we're looking for. Do you want to add to that, Jamie?
Yeah, and also with the meetings, the younger guys set up the meeting, the tables, they serve. If you're a guest or if you've been a member and you have some seniority, you sit at the table, and it's just like a restaurant. Yeah. The younger guys have to serve you, and they pick up, they clean up, they take down, they set up everything, get ready for the meeting. And we've all experienced that. I've experienced that when I first got in there. And this is knowing your roles and responsibilities and what it's like to respect your elders. Seniority is very huge with the protectives in the Rochester Fire Department as well. Guests are welcome, like royalty. We're taken care of. I mean, we have other chiefs from other organizations come and say, what's protectives like? A lot of people don't even know what this organization is all about. And right when you throw out the word volunteer, people they shrug their shoulders and like I said earlier, they think it's like picking up garbage or whatever, volunteering at the soup kitchen or whatever. This is a commitment. It's not just volunteering your time. This is a commitment to an organization. It's a commitment to the city of Rochester. It's a commitment to the Monroe County. It's a job where if you're there, you're doing a job and you're assigned a job and you're going to do that job safely and proficiently as you can. And wearing that uniform, it's just not a uniform. It's just not clothes we wear to look like everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of pride in that patch that Laurie's wearing, and that the patch has been changed from years and years to, to be more upbeat with today's society. Modern times, modern times. That's a good one. And just be a part of an organization. So when you're 18, 19 years old, or even in your 30s, you've really never been with an organization or you never worked with a company that's like very specific of jobs you need to do and how you do it and safely and why you do it. It's just really hard with this current generation to grab these young people and say, hey, look, this is what you need to do. And a lot of the new generation of entitlement, they want the job, but then when it's time to perform the tasks, I don't want to do this anymore. You have to do this for me. You have to do this. And it's very frustrating. And I was last meeting, I was very frustrated being with the organization for over 30 years and seeing it dwindle. And we're almost at the point of extinction. Oh, wow. And it's sad, all things must come to an end. Oh, right. But something like this that's been carried on for over 160 years, something's got to be done.
The community needs you.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, if not you, then who?
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Was there any type of recruitment or type of things you guys are trying to do to get things out there?
Mm-hmm. We do go to we kind of ride the shirt tails of the Rochester Fire Department a little bit and try to get to some of their different recruitment things too. We do have a flyer that they do hand out, which has our QR code on it, but and it tells what you have to do, and so we try to hand those out, and I'm gonna leave that here. But some of the other things that we talked about Harry B. Austin, who was our only line of duty death. We're going to be going out here in June. He's buried out at Mount Hope Cemetery, out in the fireman's plot. So we go out and we'll clean up the whole fireman's plot and rake that, make sure everything looks good and all the gravestones. So there's different things, not only just in the firefighting and being part of that, but we don't. I know there's an old photo that was being shown that. Showed a bunch of us on a hose line. Well, due to union requirements, we don't put the wet stuff on the red stuff anymore. But
firefighter talk.
But we're there. We're a support service for the fire department. They give us the paid driver, and I hate to see that truck going out with just the paid driver on it because there's a lot of things that have to be done. Whether it's pump that basement, like Jamie talked about earlier, that's filling with water. That we're trying to help out. So there's a lot of extra things at a fire scene that we can do. So I'll leave the.
Thank you. Yep.
And not to mention that too, other specific jobs away from actually salvaging, we change air bottles for the firefighters so they can get back in action.
We set up the lighting so you can see at the fire scene.
For sure. Just like when we're in a gunfight, whatever, you have your tools, if it's just like if you didn't have hands to reload your firearm,
right?
That's what we're basically doing. Reloading to get them back into the battle. So if there's nobody there to change the air bottles, it takes more time.
Sure.
And meanwhile, the fire's still going. People are entrapped. So the best, we assist on that as well. Lighting, ventilation.
Ventilation, yeah. You
tarps.
See the fans all the time.
We'll go into, say the house fire that was just on there, we'll go into the first floor and we'll cover furniture. We'll find, things that we deem very important that the family might want and need, and we'll retrieve that. We'll put it in a safe area outside the fire scene.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And
That's
a lot
awesome.
of stuff that. While they're fighting fire on the second floor, we're covering the first floor as best we can. Nothing's 100%.
Sure.
You think you got smoke damage, you got water damage, you got, ceilings falling, walls falling. We try to protect as much possible as we can. We save many, many houses and properties for people. Very important stuff.
And our motto is we strive to save. So that kind of goes hand in hand with everything.
So. Yeah, and I was reading the book, the 150th anniversary book, which is simply amazing. It's beautiful. It's stunning. And gives a good, but the cover, the leaf, it talks about good neighbors. That was the description of what you guys do. You're good neighbors, right? You don't have to do this. You both have full-time jobs and then some. Many, many hours in the water. But this is so important that as Jamie was describing, your house is on fire. You're scared to death. You're losing everything. Maybe a couple of those photographs could be saved. It seems that simple. Or maybe the
wedding
photos,
for sure.
Anything that you're going to lose everything here in a second, whether it's smoke, water, or fire, destroying the house. And that the word protectives, that's incredible. But good neighbors. I mean, you guys are incredible human beings. That again, and we keep on saying there's everybody should volunteer. I think, and one of the things we look for in our new application process, getting hired by the sheriff's office, is volunteerism. We're intentional about that. Do you volunteer anywhere else? Do you serve anywhere else? You don't have to. It's not on the civil service exam, but it definitely shows a character trait that we're looking for in law enforcement. Servant attitude, and a protective is a great way to do that. I mean, you may not want to get in the fire service. I don't blame you. You probably want to be a cop and be a hero. And did I say that out loud?
We sleep at night, though.
Yeah, good point. I have many friends that are firefighters. I'm just jabbing at them, just like my Marine Corps friends. You got to take a snap when you get it.
Yeah, me and Scott, we go at it. Oh, yeah. We have our jokes. We jab each other.
Yeah.
It's great.
And then trust your brother in my life. So, me and Engine 16 became best friends for like a year and a half when I was a staff duty officer in the city. Like, just followed each other. Most of them are shooting call. But
so another thing, you gotta mention this at all, the money. Mm-hmm. The amount of money that we save the city of Rochester taxpayers is unbelievable. I wish I was going to bring something that pretty much showed like how many hours of volunteerism that we provide the city of Rochester, where they would have to pay somebody. And just imagine how high your taxes would be if the protectives weren't around.
Or if that function wasn't being fulfilled.
Right? Oh, for sure.
You're taking firefighters out of service to do tasks that, could be done by other people that are willing to give.
We even, now with a lot of your town departments going to paid departments, you don't have all the volunteers that we used to back in North Greece, way back when.
Sure.
You would do these extra tasks. Well, your paid crews don't have the manpower to do those extra tasks, so some of them aren't getting done, which is sad. Yeah. Even though you're trying to still do the same thing and save everybody's property, but they don't have the manpower either. So, this is what's nice in the city is we do this as a volunteer and. We are able to keep people's property safe.
Yeah, I like it. And I love that what you said about,
Thank you.
That is that was a good character trait to be able to give back to somebody besides yourself. And the way these guys do it out there, I mean, you guys going out there, giving up your time, giving up, the effort that you guys put in. And James, I never knew about this, honestly, and it's something for me to recognize that you did put in that off time like this. And you put it in because you're dedicated to helping others, and I mean that's what a program like this shows.
Absolutely. I remember leaving fire scenes, being up all night, and then going to my regular job.
Yeah.
Just getting back to the firehouse, getting all the equipment. Sometimes not even a shower.
Yeah.
And it's just unbelievable. In recruitment, getting back to like when I was on and when Laurie was on, it was only strictly for city residents, and that was enough. Like I said, there was a waiting list to get into a volunteer organization. That's unheard of. And now that we're at a point that the recruitment is so low that we open it up to the county. If you live in Monroe County, you can now come into the city and be a volunteer. And that's another reason why I wanted to be on this podcast, because it represents what the county's all about, safety, protection, volunteerism, and just show what Monroe County can do outside law enforcement and trying to get the word out to as many people as we possibly can.
Well, we'll help do that. We'll make sure this runs on the B-roll and we get the brochure out there. Thanks for sharing, guys. So our last podcast, like our first podcast, we always finish up with a no Miranda zone.
Yeah.
No Miranda zone means I ask questions. You don't have a right to remain silent. You got to answer them. That's why it's no Miranda. So, Laurie.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
What's the favorite uniform you ever wore? You got many, lady. Do the right thing. You're still involved, right?
I'm still the program coordinator for Do the Right Thing, which you missed our last couple ceremonies, sir. And but I don't know, because to decide what I'm going to wear when I don't have to wear a uniform, that's a little bit harder to do. Yeah. Unless it's a flannel and a pair of jeans, then I'm good. But it just. They've all been outstanding, and I'm very proud of everything I've been involved in, and I continue to still do a lot of it.
Yeah,
so,
you do.
That's what's fun. It's hard to answer that one. They're all right up there.
You got a question you've been dying to ask, Jamie?
Oh yeah, I just seen it right here.
All right.
What do you like most about yourself?
Pretty much everything.
I figured.
Yep.
That's the Owen trait right there.
There you go. Pretty much everything. What you see is what you get. So
God.
I think your brother's the same way.
sure is.
So I'm visualizing. We grew up in the same neighborhood. I think we're related somehow through marriage. Marion, you guys are blood somehow, and
yeah.
But just growing up with these guys over off Sherman Street was just fun. And now that some years later, we're still playing the same Ranger games and laughing at each other. It's so precious. Life is so precious. It really is.
City of Rochester is a good sized city.
Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. But it's a small world. We always say it all the time.
Oh,
there's I call it the Kevin Bacon theory. I mean, you know somebody who knows somebody, and from somewhere they know somebody too, and everybody's all connected pretty much. If you were born and raised in Rochester, you got family out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not far apart. So, favorite vacation spot? Where would you go?
Mine?
Yep.
I'm gonna say Grenada.
You been?
No, I'm going there for my honeymoon.
I thought maybe you were there in the Army back in the
No, in fact,
you're not that old.
In fact, I got
I was 83.
Yeah, I got deployed for Grenada.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When'd you go active?
86.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never heard anybody say that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Did a lot of research, a lot of history on it.
That's cool.
It looks amazing.
It would be a great experience. I don't want that tourist trap. I'm not saying Grenada is. That's probably what's attracting there too. That's, not with just people bombarding you to buy stuff when you get there.
Oh my gosh.
Good luck with that. Sanders knows, Tiz knows.
That's true. That's true.
Well, if you went with his 15, 16, 17, 18 grandchildren, I know 11.
Woo!
Right? 11?
I got
11?
Well, close. 12.
12.
Yeah.
You had one more?
No. Just 12.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
Well, guys, thanks for sharing the Protectives. Laurie, great to see you again.
Thank you for having us here.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate everything you do to help us get the word out there,
we'll
because
definitely do that.
we need some people,
Very
and just like
important.
everything else. And we're a great agency. So thank you.
Great agency. So we'll share it. We'll make sure everybody knows about it. Jamie, if you can get back to work, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, I thought this was work, sir.
To next week, folks. Be safe. God bless.